Okay, there we go. All right, so we are going to talk tonight about using Young Living products to do a cleanse. And cleanses are really popular because A, they help with weight loss, B, they help boost energy, and they just help get all the gunk out. You're about to see some really graphic pictures. Have fun with that. Right, hold on 1 second. Okay, cool. So there we are. Okay, so does cleansing matter? Well, first of all, our intestines between the small and large intestine are about 30 feet long. So the standard American diet contains a lot of dairy, refined sugars, refined flours, processed ingredients. And when they are all combined in your gullet, they create a mucus plaque on the lining of your intestines. So not only is that hashtag gross, but it is also very, very difficult for your system to get the nutrients that it needs if it is constantly trying to have this mucousy web that all those nutrients are trying to get through. So basically what that means to you is it doesn't matter if you're trying to eat more healthy and if you're trying to get the right things in your system. If you have all this gunk that's blocking absorption, you're not going to be absorbing some of the key minerals, nutrients, and things that your body needs. So those of us in the medical field have seen this chart before. It's more geared towards nurses and not us imaging people, but this is a Bristol stool chart. Yum, right? Wahoo. But so the reason I bring this up is it's showing what your poops should look like. So this is what your poo says about you. And that's something no one wants to ever talk about, but it's something that is really helpful to talk about. So if you are having like the rabbit pellets, or you're having, like, obviously in the medical field, we know it's haustra that kind of pushed everything along, and that's a little pouchy looking thing, so it looks like a bunch of grapes or something, then you need more water, and probably you know, a lot more water because you're really constipated. If it looks more smooth and just easily comes out, you don't have to wipe a whole lot, then that means that's kind of the happy place you want to be in. And if your stools are really loose, or the chocolate river, then you know that you not only need some fiber, but you may have an underlying issue going on as well, that it, you know, could be inflammation in your gut. It could be all sorts of issues, but it just shows that you might want to seek some help for that. And know, when I'm telling you all of this, I'm not a doctor. None of the things we're covering are drugs. They are supplements. That is it. So these are to supplement a healthy diet and help you get the effects that you want, not only in the bathroom, but in your overall health and wellness. So I had to share this one because this was funnier. And it's, we've got Bristol bowls, or, like, I guess you could call them Whoppers, if you are really dehydrated, or monkey bread. Next time you eat monkey bread, I want you to think of the poo chart. So there's that. Then if you have the cracked sausage, that's still, you're kind of on the low end of acceptable. Or we have Goldilocks poo. You can see it's not a lot of creases in it. It slides right out of you, not a lot of wiping, and minimal time on your iPhone in the bathroom. So there's that. Then if you have the little blobs, or fluffy poo, or the fountain of poo, you got problems, and you need more fiber, and you need to change your diet probably. So I'm going to move on from all that grossness. And these are the top signs that you might need a cleanse. And I got all of these from Colon Health magazine. Who knew, right? That there would be a publication dedicated to the lower half of you. So there's that. But if you are suffering from constipation, body aches, allergies, fatigue, you stink, and that could be body odor, that could be your poo stinks really bad. There's all sorts of ways that you can smell. Skin blemishes or breakouts, that can even include rashes and things like that on your skin that you don't know where they came from. Like, obviously, if you got into poison ivy and you have a rash, that's different than, you know, where's this unexplained breakout coming from? Inability to concentrate, so kind of that, you know, your mind is wandering. feeling depressed, difficulty losing weight, trouble sleeping, or decreased libido. All of those are signs that you need a cleanse. So I'm going to get into a little bit more detail on that. So a lot of times constipation is due to poor diet, drugs. So if you're taking a new medication or something that can make you constipated, stress or other substances that are toxic, and it will cause the colon to go into protective mode. And that basically means it's going to produce excess mucus. Yummy, right? So that's going to bind the waste and sludge that comes from the refined and processed foods like white rice, white flour, non-grain type things. So basically, if you have some of those like rich grains, like ancient grains, amaranth, couscous, like different things that are multi-grain type, like flax and things like that, those are better things to aim for than, you know, your standard GMO wheat. But yes, so basically all of that will build up along the walls of the bowel. So that's that mucus plaque that we were talking about. I'm going to let you Google mucus plaque in a colon cleanse. I showed Emily recently, and we had a good little time looking at that. It's nasty. It's basically, it looks like someone's intestines came out, only black. It's disgusting. So don't show that on a first date. Just don't do it. Anyway, so that all of this buildup with that mucus is eventually going to narrow the space available for waste to be removed. So that's called an impacted colon. And so that's when you're starting to have the runs and things like that. That means you got problems. So, and this is what's funny is it says diarrhea is actually a form of constipation. It's a sign of an unhealthy digestive system. Now that doesn't mean you got a stomach bug and you've got, I have an old coworker who used to call them the Hershey squirts, but for a little while, and that's like a 24 to 48 hour thing. This is like you chronically have issues. You might want to get some help. So chronic constipation is a warning sign that something is not right with your digestive system, and a colon cleanse will help to flush out all that excess goop and let it be eliminated effectively. So the body aches, when toxins are present in the body, a lot of times that leads to different inflammatory processes. We're not going to go into all that today. That's between you and your doctor. Again, not a doctor. These aren't drugs. This is just talking about helping you to feel a little bit better. But think about when you've got toxins that are building up in your system because they can't get out, it's going to lead to a host of problems. But it can, you know, cause minor aches and pains and stiffness. It can cause, like I said, skin rashes, and even sometimes like, you know, seasonal allergy type symptoms. If you are never getting anything out, excess mucus, you know, I mean, it's just your body's way of trying to degunk itself. And sometimes you need a different method of getting that stuff out. So if you're sleeping for 8 hours a night and you still wake up feeling tired, it could be that overload of toxins that are not able to be purged out of your lymphatic system that is causing you to feel really tired. If you smell, it could be bad breath, overall body odor, smelly flatulence. We all know someone who suffers from that. But it could be your body's way of releasing that poisonous, toxic gas. Again, not first date. None of this is first date material. Just heads up. This is, you know them for a really good long time. They accept you no matter what. So acne, that's another one. So all of those blemishes, skin breakouts, that's another sign that you've got toxins that aren't being released. Let's see, if you're constantly in a mental fog, that could be another sign of a detox. Everything cannot, you know, correlate in your brain the way that it's supposed to. And if you're sitting there feeling like you need an energy drink just to get through the day every day, then that's a sign saying that you're holding on to things you shouldn't be. If you're feeling really down all the time and you just can't get out of that funk, that when you're eating foods that give life, then if those toxins are blocking those really healthy foods from being absorbed, you're still going to be feeling kind of yuck. Let's see. And again, I'm not talking about clinical depression. That's a whole other subject. I'm not diagnosing anyone here. This is just if you're feeling moody and down and blech, that kind of thing. If you're feeling overweight or you have trouble losing weight or you're suffering from bloating and things like that, like we said, if it jams up the lymphatic system, that could be another reason why things are being held onto. So a full body detox is sometimes necessary for that. If you're having trouble sleeping, that's another thing. So those toxins block the release of melatonin, which is what helps you to fall asleep. So instead of going and buying over-the-counter meds, which could, you know, constipate you even further and things like that, you could give a more natural option a try to, you know, so you're not just trying to, you know, take something to fall asleep. You could try to give your body a natural fighting chance to restore its processes for falling asleep. And then general sexual dysfunction, like a low libido or just never being in the mood. If you feel all gunky and bloated and tired and you smell bad and you have body aches and you're constipated, do you want to do it? I don't. So that's just kind of an obvious, if you feel gunky and gross, you're not going to really want to do that either. So what can I do about it? Fortunately, Young Living has two different systems for general colon cleansing. And the thing that's great is a lot of these products help to support your liver as well. And so when you have all of these things building up in your guts, your liver also gets all gunked up because it can't process things out either. All of these organs work symbiotically together. So we're going to cover some things at the end to help talk about, like, if you have a sluggish liver and things like that. A lot of those things all go hand in hand. So first, we're going to talk about the 5-day nutritive cleanse. You can see here in the picture, there's 2 bottles of Mingsha Red, a container of Balance Complete, and a bottle of Digest and Cleanse. So if you're wanting to, you can either piecemeal put these things together and get the pouches so they're easier and more convenient for on the go, or you can get it as a kit. It is cheaper as a kit. I think when I looked at it, it would save you like 30 or 40 bucks to buy it as a kit rather than getting pouches and all of that. So well, the first one we're going to talk about in that is the Balance Complete. So Balance Complete is a superfood-based meal replacement, said that weird, sorry, that is both a powerful nutritive energizer and a cleanser. So it not only has that wonderful Mingsha wolfberry powder, so the same stuff that's in our Mingsha, the same stuff that, you know, you can get the dried wolfberries, this is the same stuff, but brown rice bran, barley grass, extra virgin coconut oil, aloe vera. Aloe vera is so soothing for your stomach. Cinnamon powder, and our premium whey protein blend. Balance Complete is high in fiber, high in protein, and contains the good fats, enzymes, vitamins, and minerals needed for a nutritionally dynamic meal. Balance Complete also features Young Living's proprietary V Fiber blend, which supplies an amazing 11 grams of fiber per serving, absorbs toxins, and satisfies the appetite while balancing the body's essential requirements. Now, I had somebody say, and Deneen, I'm sorry you can't do this because you have a citrus allergy. Not Balance Complete, but what I'm about to tell you. But they put orange oil, because I think this is a vanilla flavor. It says vanilla cream flavored. So they put orange oil in with the vanilla cream, and they said it made it taste like a dreamsicle. So if you wanted to do like a peppermint vanilla thing, Deneen, you could do that too. And peppermints also can help soothe your digestive system. So those are some options. Like if you're doing these shakes for 5 days, as you do it, and we're going to get into the meal plan for it, but you're having 3 shakes a day. You might get sick of vanilla. So you could add in a scoop of cocoa powder, or that's the unsweetened cocoa powder, or you can add in some orange essential oil. A lot of people add oils to their Balance Complete. And of course, we're talking vitality oils, but this will help them to kind of get a little bit of a different flavor. And you don't have to buy, you know, a lot of protein powders come in lots of different flavors. There's a way just using your oils or some extra little supplements that you can change the flavor yourself. So Digest and Cleanse, these are little soft gel capsules. They soothe gastrointestinal upset and support healthy digestion. Stress, overeating, and toxins can irritate the gastrointestinal system, and that can cause cramps, gas, and nausea that interfere with the body's natural digestive and detox functions. So supplementing with Digest and Cleanse will help to soothe the bowel, prevent gas, and stimulate the stomach secretions thus aiding in digestion. It was formulated with clinically proven, time-tested essential oils that work synergistically to help prevent occasional indigestion and abdominal pain. So the reason why this is important to do in a cleanse is when you're from garbage in all the time, and then, now you're starting to, have a little bit better things coming in and you're starting to cleanse, your body's releasing those toxins. And so that's one of those things you have to consider, is that might cause a little discomfort, and you might have some gas symptoms or a little bit of stomach upset during that time for those first couple of days while your body's making an adjustment to healthier eating and living. So the other part in this, Mingsha Red. Mingsha Red is a superfruit juice puree blend, say that 3 times fast, but it's rich in antioxidants and it helps bind free radicals. So you're releasing a bunch of toxins, right? So it's important to protect our healthy cells and make sure that they're still functioning normally. But Mingsha Red is great for bridging those nutritional gaps that are often left when you're doing something like a cleanse where you're really restricting your caloric intake and you're trying to, boost your energy. So we're going to get here. And I have an entire class on Mingsha Red. It's like 30 minutes or so long on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel. You can search it at Freedom in a Bottle. Just search Freedom in a Bottle for YouTube and look for our little logo. It's the little bottle with a bird flying off. But anyway, so that's a great way to learn more about Mingsha Red. Since we've already covered it in another class, I'm not deeply going to focus on that today, but Cliff Notes version gives you extra nutrition during your cleanse and helps boost your energy so that you're not feeling that, oh, I have not had enough calories, I'm feeling like, lightheaded, yucky. This helps with that. Okay, so this is the meal plan for the 5-day nutritive cleanse. So we can see we've got day 1, upper left-hand corner, we've got for breakfast, and you'll notice all 3 of your meals are going to be the same. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner is 1 digest and cleanse capsule, 1 balanced complete shake is directed, which you can mix it with water, or they don't say regular milk. And I want to make that clear because remember, dairy boosts your mucus production. The whole point is to get that gunk out. So if you're going to mix it with something, do it with like a coconut or an almond milk. Do a plant-based milk for this. But so 1 balanced complete shake is directed, so mix it up with either an almond milk or a coconut milk or water. And then on top of the water that you add, or whatever liquid you added to the shake, you're also going to drink 8 to 12 extra ounces of water and 2 ounces of Mingsha Red. So that's your breakfast. You get a snack of either an apple or an orange and more water. Notice the trend here with the water. Digest the lunch, same thing. Snack, either 1 cup of raw broccoli or another non-starchy vegetable and an herbal tea of your choice. Notice here it says no caffeine. You're going to go on an alcohol and caffeine fast when you're cleansing. Those things are very stimulating and they throw off your normal digestive function. So you need to be very careful with that, and you're going to do everything no caffeine. I know that sounds hard, but I promise with the Mingsha Red, when you're going through and you're releasing those toxins for the first couple of days, you'll probably feel kind of cruddy. So if you have a normal Monday through Friday job, start the digest and cleanse on Saturday. And then by Monday, when you're ready to go back, you should start having that boost in your energy. And then you can see half a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries as your snack. Go organic with this. I know that they're more expensive. But the way I look at it is this: if I'm working this hard to get all these toxins out and then I'm taking things that were sprayed with pesticides and have all this gunk in them, I'm not helping myself. So since this is all you're eating during this time, it's not that much to buy a little container of, fresh organic blueberries. I mean, you're talking maybe $3. So just, go organic when you can. Okay, so day 2, again, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, same thing. Your snack is either a pear or a plum, 2 tablespoons of raw sunflower seeds. Note, it didn't say roasted sunflower seeds. It says raw. There's a reason. It destroys a lot of those good, healthy elements to those nuts when you roast them. And then the extra water. Your snack, raw celery, a tablespoon of almond butter. Again, go organic with this. And then a cup of herbal tea. You can sweeten it with stevia if you want, but don't use refined sugars. And then your snack, again, the same blueberries or a peach. Next, your snack. You can read along here with me. You can see the snacks. I'm not going to read every one of them to you, but just remember, try to eliminate the caffeine, try to go organic whenever possible. And, you know, if y'all, I don't know where you're watching from, if you live on the interwebs and you're not here with us in this class, I live in Texas. In Texas, we have Kroger. So when I shop at Kroger and I go, they have Simple Truth organic frozen fruits. So to go and get some frozen blueberries or frozen peaches or something like that, that wouldn't be that hard. And I can just let them come to room temperature if you're having a hard time finding those seasonal things organically. That's just a workaround for you. Okay, so we're gonna move on. That's how you do the 5-day nutritive. Now, before I get into the cleansing trio, I'm going to tell you the 5-day nutritive is generally going to be your quarterly or every like 6 months kind of cleanse. Young Living recommends you cleanse at least twice a year. If you're somebody who drinks a lot of alcohol, caffeine, eats a lot of cruddy foods, you might want to do it every quarter. So that's just a little tip and trick from Young Living. If you want your colon to be functioning at its optimum, garbage in, garbage out. Gary Young always said, if 3 trains are coming into the station, 3 trains should be leaving every day. So if you're not having 3 healthy bowel movements every day, then and you're eating 3 meals a day, that means you're constipated. Heads up. But yes, this is your thing for jump-starting a weight loss program, trying to get into a more healthy lifestyle. That's what the 5-day nutritive is focused on, because it's so structured. It gives you everything you need and then gives you a meal plan to use through the whole process. So if you're trying to jumpstart healthy living, that's the best way to go. The cleansing trio is a little bit more advanced, and we're going to get into that. So these are only supplements. It's not shakes. It's not the only thing that it has that you will have to mix up is the ICP, because that's your fiber. It's both soluble and insoluble fiber. We'll get into that in a second. So essential zyme. If you watched on YouTube, I have the digestive health and enzymes. So you learned how your digestive system worked and then saw the 5 different digestive enzymes that Young Living has. This one is kind of the blanket enzyme that can work for pretty much anyone except for little kids because they can't swallow a pill. That's why they use essential zyme. There is one called detoxzyme that if you wanted to take that, I really feel personally like you could swap that out. But, you know, really also you can read and look in the digestive health and enzymes class that I have on YouTube. I have a chart there and it shows what each of those enzymes breaks down. So if you're wanting to target specific food groups like carbohydrates, protein, whatever, that's a way you can make a decision too. But in the cleansing trio, it comes with essential zyme. And if you're just starting using digestive enzymes, this would be the one I would recommend to you. So it is a bi-layered multi-enzyme complex caplet specially formulated to support and balance digestive health and to stimulate overall enzyme activity to combat the modern diet. Essential zyme contains tarragon, peppermint, anisphenol, and clove essential oils to improve overall enzyme activity and to support your pancreas. So one thing that's important about understanding digestive enzymes, what do they do? These are the little critters that break down your food and make them into this sludge and into this smaller, more absorbable, almost a liquid. It's kind of like a mushy liquid, so that way the microvilli in your intestines can absorb all of those nutrients. So when you think you're adding the fiber and you're pushing everything out, it's important that all of the food items that you start putting in, because when you're doing these, you're eating a normal diet. Now, hopefully after you've done the 5-day nutritive, you've moved into a more plant-based diet, doing roasted organic vegetables or, you know, fresh organic fruits and vegetables, and then lean proteins and things like that. I'm going to level with you. I'm not always perfect. That's why these cleanses are important, because everybody has that day where the kids' school practice ran over, or you had to work late and it's easier to grab fast food, or you get something that was processed at the grocery store because you can microwave it and it was easy. So these are those things. If you're going to be working on doing a cleanse is not meant to be the Band-Aid over a hemorrhage. Does that make sense? So like if you cut your leg off, you're not going to put a Band-Aid on it. This is not going to fix somebody eating like crud all of the time and never trying to do better. But we also understand life happens. So keep that in your mind as you're doing this. Don't beat yourself up if you ate a hamburger, but then also don't eat a hamburger every day. So there's that. ICP is the soluble and insoluble fiber complex. So it basically scours out the residues. So you think about it, you've got the essential zyme breaking everything down into these teeny tiny pieces, and then you've got this to bulk everything up. So what that's going to do is it's going to act like fingers on your intestinal walls, just to kind of drag all that gunk out, okay? That's a really great mental picture, isn't it? Awesome. And honestly, when people have said that they passed the, the mucus plaque out of their system, it's because they were doing this system here, the cleansing trio, and they did it until that passed out of their system. Now I'm going to tell you, when we get to the next product, I'll tell you why you need to be careful with that and be careful on how long you do it for. And I will give you, I've read several different articles and I'm going to tell you what they all say. But anyway, so ICP has psyllium husk, oat bran, flax, and fennel seeds that form a combination of both soluble and insoluble fiber. So soluble fiber breaks down in water. Soluble fiber breaks down in water. Insoluble fiber does not. So that means when it hits your system and it gets in contact with that water, some of it's going to break down and form kind of a sticky substance that's going to help drag things along. And then there's going to be insoluble fiber that's going to help create bulk to push everything out or give you something to push out. Yum. Anyway, so it is also enhanced with a special blend of essential oils, and then the fibers work to decrease the buildup of waste and improve nutrient absorption, and then help to maintain a healthy heart, because, you know, obviously if we don't have all these toxins in our body, every system's going to work better. ICP provides 2 grams of dietary fiber, 1 gram of soluble fiber, and 1 gram of insoluble fiber per serving. Now, one key point to this, when you mix this up, drink it right away or it's gonna get thick. Because think about that, if it's forming this gelatinous thing in your intestines, if you leave it to sit, it's gonna do that. You gotta try to get that in you. That sounds disgusting. Now, if you can take this with just water, that's preferred. When you start adding fruit juices have a lot of sugar. So if you can try to take this just with water and chug it down, get it in you. You know, otherwise they say try to do a carrot juice, or maybe it was orange juice, but I know that orange juice is very high in the sugar content. So, you know, just if you can try to just chug it down, just chug it down. I personally have not tried this one yet. I'm trying it in September when Matt and I start our cleanses. We're buying all of our products now. I'll report in. It'll be very newsworthy, I'm sure. Woohoo. So Comfortone. Comfortone has in it, let's see, it is a combination of herbs and essential oils to support the health of the digestive system. Comfortone helps to eliminate residues from the colon and enhances its ability to function optimally. It supports normal peristalsis, which is the wave-like movements of your intestines that helps push your food along. And it helps to strengthen the systems that provide the nutrients to the rest of the body. It can also help to soothe digestive discomforts that arise during the cleansing process, and the oils in this complex help to cleanse the colon and provide benefits to your liver, gallbladder, and your overall digestive process. Now, one thing that I want to talk about with you is one of the, I'm trying to look it up real quick. So the Comfortone capsules have in it Cascara sagrada bark. So what that is that, from what I've understood, it helps move things along. Now, anyone who's ever used any type of system for anything, for any period of time, you know that if it starts to activate certain things in your body and make them happen, your body can start to depend on that item to make that thing happen. So what does that mean? That means because it's got that Cascara sagrada bark in it, and that helps to urge things along, that your body, if you take this for extended periods of time with no break, your body can become dependent on that bark to make that normal wave-like peristalsis happen. That's what I've understood. Now, I've had some people say, don't do this system for longer than 2 weeks. Others have recommended a month, but there were other posts that I was reading that people did this anywhere from 6 months to a year until they passed that mucousy plaque. So it really depends on what your goal is. Obviously, anything you do, even if you did this for 2 weeks to a month, your body is still getting a benefit. If you are sensitive to certain things, especially if you have chronic digestive conditions, consult your doctor. You don't want to go and really aggravate things in there if you have some sort of bowel disorder and then overload it with all of this stuff. So I'm not telling you to go and treat these like it's this fix-all thing. I want you to use your own due diligence and your own judgment. Your body's going to tell you. Now, having gas cramps and gas pain, that's why there's a lot of these other things like Comfortone and Digest and Cleanse. That's why they're there. But when it starts to become something like your body knows when something's wrong. So just be careful with that. If it were me, and I will tell you what my plan is, I'm going to do the 5-day Nutritive Cleanse. And then right after the 5-day Nutritive Cleanse, I'm going to start my cleansing trio. The cleansing trio comes with enough product to do it for an entire month. I'm going to complete that month and see how I feel, and then I can always go and place another order and get those products again if I feel like I need to keep going. If I'm feeling good, and let's say like you're someone who's had chronic breakouts and you've had fatigue and you've had, you just feel like crud, and all of a sudden you feel better, well, then you may not need more. If you're somebody who, hey, you've eaten like crud for years and years and years and you need a little more attention, and also you're drinking tons of water to help push everything out, that can help with your results as well. So really, if you're really worried about it, I would consult your doctor. So once you've finished those cleanses, so for me, once I've done the 5-day Nutritive and then I've done the cleansing trio and I'm done with both, I'm going to start doing some liver support. So Juva products, so Juva Cleanse, Juva Tone, Juva Power, Juva Flex, Juva Spice, anything Juva is for the liver. It's to provide choline and different nutritive complexes that are specific little building blocks for your liver, things that your liver needs to regenerate itself. One really cool fact that I learned is, let's just say that you have smoked and drank alcohol and drank coffee every day for the last 20 years and your body is in rough shape. Your liver is one of the very few organs that can regenerate itself. So that's really awesome. That means that, garbage in, garbage out. But if we start putting those good things in, that over time, those cells in your liver are going to regenerate, and it takes about 180 days for your liver to be fully regenerated. So that's a cool little fact. So 6 months, and you've got a whole new liver. Wahoo. And granted, I'm not talking about somebody who has a liver disease of some kind. That's something, will these products help? Probably. But don't think I'm saying we can cure something. I don't diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease or condition. So there you go. So these are signs that your liver might be sluggish and need some support with some of these Juva products. If you have high cholesterol, so our body, our liver is responsible for the breakdown of fat. So your gallbladder lives right there inside your liver, and it excretes bile to help break down greasy and fatty foods. If your liver is sluggish and it's not excreting the right amount of stuff, you may end up with fat products in your blood. It's just, those are the step-by-step process. If you have general digestive problems, unexplained skin rashes, blood sugar imbalances, hormone imbalances, your liver also is responsible for metabolizing your hormones. So we learned in the I have another hormones class that's on YouTube as well, but we learned that, your pituitary and your thalamus and your thyroid and all of these different glands, excrete hormones. Well, your liver is the one responsible for saying, okay, that's too much of this, and okay, we need a little bit more here. If your liver is overtaxed because you're giving it tons of crud to try to filter out of your body, and that includes all of like your household chemicals and different things that you come into contact, like the air you breathe and exhaust fumes and things like that, then your liver might be in trouble, especially if you're giving it bad food, alcohol, and all these things to process on top of that. So, difficulty sleeping, lower extremity swelling and bloating, bad breath, excessive body odor, easy bruising, mood swings, and decreased energy. So, and you'll notice a lot of these were similar between needing a digestive cleanse and needing a liver cleanse. So both of those, and a lot of these things that were in these different digestive cleansing products had some of the same oils and components that would help with your liver as well as your digestive system. And again, don't start trying to cleanse your liver until you've cleansed your colon. Because think about it this way, if I'm going and taking all these supplements and I've got this sticky tar on my colon, then you're not going to absorb all of these supplements. So you're kind of throwing your money away because you're not getting all the gunk out so that those microvilli can, absorb those different things that you're giving your body. And so you're basically putting it. You think about if you think of the Moses basket. When they lined it with tar, the basket didn't sink. Why? Because the water couldn't get in. Well, if you're putting supplements into your body and nothing can get in to your body through that tar-coated intestine, that's why you want to do your colon cleanse first and then start doing your liver support after. So, to close, every bite that you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. I love that. So we can see here, if you're eating blueberries and cabbage and broccoli and a lot of these cruciferous vegetables, and you're giving your body good whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and very lean protein, you're going to do much better than if you're eating the pizza and burgers and fries and hot dogs and a Cliff Notes version of where you should be shopping. Keep to the outer aisles of the supermarket. So freshly baked multigrain breads, fruits and vegetables, organic if you can get them, organic farm-raised meats and eggs and things like that, and limit your dairy and your red meat and all of those foods that we are told, hey, they might add fun to the plate, but they're not fun later on. And, a moment on the lips, forever on the hips anyway, right? So that is our class. I'm going to go ahead and close on out, and I will unmute all of you. Let's see. There we go. Let me figure out how to do that. Okay. All right. So did anyone have any questions or comments or anything they want to add before we let all of the wonderful internet people go?
No, I just wanted to throw out there that, I'm basically doing the cleansing trio now, and the ICP does not taste bad at all.
Perfect. Awesome. I was worried about that because when I saw that many different forms of fiber, I went, oh boy.
No. Yeah, and I just do mine with water, and it's not bad.
Oh, thanks for giving us that tip, Shayna. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
All right. Well, lovely interweb people, we're going to go ahead and let you go. So thank you for joining in with us, and we will see you next class. Bye-bye now.